Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this 55th episode in Season 2 of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. Special guests for this episode include singer Gean Garcia, the McAllen, Texas native stolen by team legend on The Voice. We'll also visit with actor Emilio Rivera, as new episodes of Mayans M.C. is on FX Tuesday nights. We'll also talk with singer Pia Renee from The Voice, the Chicago powerhouse from Team Legend. We'll visit with actor Joe Pantoliano and his daughter Daniella about their new podcast, No Kidding, Me Too. Also from The Voice, we'll visit with Houston native Dana Monique from Team Nick. And our final guest will be TikTok sensation and good friend of the show, Cooper Allen. We'll talk about his recent single Tough Ones and his current single, Too Soon. Of course, if you would, please take the time to subscribe, drop a like, comment, leave some feedback, and share with your friends. Another season of The Voice continues on, the battle rounds, and we've got, he's stolen by team legend, Gean Garcia with us this morning. And first off, Gean, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show.
Of course. It's an honor to be here before you guys.
And Gean, the Voice, how long was the process of talking yourself into going for that first tryout?
Honestly, I've always dreamed about auditioning for The Voice. I just never gathered up the courage to do it. But it just took the right push, the right amount of influence from my peers around me. And then, I just went for it.
Now, Gean, obviously growing up in a musical family, was that the driving force behind the music for you, especially at the ripe young age of 19, right?
Yes. My dad has always been an influence me. He's always influenced me when it comes to music and stuff. And I've always seen the way that he's grown as an artist, and I just wanted to replicate that energy and do it for myself and see how successful I could be. And it's what's driven me to keep music going in my life.
And I know you had the opportunity a couple of years ago to travel around outside of the U.S. as well, performing. Did that just make it where it was solidified and you knew there was nothing else in your life for you?
Yeah, actually practicing it and doing it in public and performing with my dad is kind of validated my dreams for me. It was just you need to go for this. This is for you. There's nothing else that I enjoy in the world more.
That's awesome. Now, what was the blind audition like? What was that? Did it live up to your expectations, or did it maybe get you closer to death's door than you thought you were going to be?
Going into these blinds, I'm not going to lie, I was a bit nervous. Because it's I'm performing in front of these 4 coaches that are really talented and are very successful in each and every way. And it's wow, this is the big leagues. Now I need to put on the show for them. And I'm going to give it my all, and I just got to go out there and just be me.
Now, Gean, what is the biggest thing that you've seen? Is it maybe the vision that you have? Has that changed a little bit since being on this season of The Voice?
Honestly, my vision has grown, if anything. I've gotten a taste of what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I've never performed on a platform as big as this one. So with all this exposure and all these people, the way that people and showing love for me, it's wow, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I want to do. And my vision has just grown. Now I want to be the biggest artist in the world just because I got that little taste.
Now, how much of a challenge has social media become now as being on The Voice?
It's gotten a little rowdy. From all the exposure, there's a lot of viewers on The Voice, but it's nothing that I can't handle. I'm very appreciative of everyone who follows me, and I'm blessed to have that following, and I'm just going to keep it active, and I'm going to keep it going.
Now, we talked about the blind auditions. Now, the battle rounds continue on, and what is it like getting up there face-to-face, side-by-side with one of your compadres and really giving the best for each of you? Obviously, it's competition, but I know you're still wishing for the best for each other as well, right?
Of course. I've grown to have relationships with all these contestants on The Voice, and we know each other very well. And I wish everyone the best, but that's not going to stop me from giving it my all and making sure that I'm capitalizing on the show. But like you said, I respect everyone, and I wish the best for them.
And taking over to Team Legend, how has being a part of that team, what is the differences that you've noticed between Team Legend and Team Kelly coming in?
I mean, it was definitely a curveball being stolen to John Legend's team. And honestly, I don't really focus on any differences. I'm just really focusing on my game plan, which is giving it everything I have. Whatever song I'm giving, I'm going to put my all into it. I mean, whatever comes in the way, I'll do everything best to fight it the best, but I'm just very focused on my music right now.
And obviously coming into a different coach, do you see a different vantage point and obviously another opportunity for you to grow in your craft as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when you have advice from multiple coaches. This is not something that everyone gets to experience. So Kelly gave me her dose of advice for me. Now John Legend is also going to pour that into me. So I'm just very grateful, and I'm hoping that, everything works out well.
Now for you, Gean, what has been the biggest highlight of the season so far? I mean, obviously we know what the ultimate highlight you're going for is, but what so far has been the ultimate highlight for you personally?
The ultimate highlight this season for me was the double steal with Nick Jonas and John Legend. I never thought that, let alone I'd be stolen, and now it's two people giving me reasons why I should go on their team, and it's all like, wow, I was jaw-dropped. And I had the opportunity to choose from the coaches, and I thought that was really cool and something that I never thought I'd experience.
Now, how hard is it for you to cut down on the nerves a bit, or are they showing up a little bit more than you're normally used to?
Honestly, at the beginning, they were a lot more than now. Now I'm just very, very chill. It's a very chill vibe because I know the environment now, but at first it was kind of nerve-wracking. But, I mean, the coaches grew on me and we talked, and it's like, wow, now I can see them on eye to eye.
And what piece of advice did your dad give you about the music industry that maybe you're seeing a little more clearly now on The Voice?
Honestly, no matter the influence, stay true to yourself. There's going to be a lot of people that are very great, and you're going to be like, wow, this person is so special in their own way, but you can never forget how special you are. I am here for a reason, and I just need to stay true to myself because no one else is like me.
That's right. Well, again, Gean Garcia, now a part of Team Legend on The Voice. Gean, want to make sure and let our listeners know where to keep up with everything you got going social media-wise as well.
Of course. Everyone can follow me on Janky Music, Geanky Music, on Instagram, Twitter, and all platforms. Yeah, it was nice having you. It was nice being here with you guys.
All right. Well, Gean, continued success as you continue on through the season, and hopefully we can catch up again real soon, brother.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, the entire point of escalators is that they do the walking for you. So why do some people feel the need to walk up them? They're always bumping into people like me, who just want to enjoy the ride, am I right? So should people be banned from walking up or down escalators? At least one place says yes. The Saitama district just outside of Tokyo, Japan, just banned walking on escalators. Now their goal is to get rid of all the bumping and cut down on the number of people getting hurt by moving on escalators. Always good to have folks on, and there's this little COVID thing that happened since last time we talked. We've got Emilio Rivera on the line. We'll be talking about Mayans M.C. on FX. And Emilio, always good to visit with you, my friend.
Thank you for having me back, brother. I appreciate that, man. Good times.
And through the last year, like I said, COVID's come in between our last visit. I mean, how much different do things look doing some promotions on Mayans this time around?
You know, it's not the way we usually do it, brother. You know, usually by now we have been at all the Comic-Cons and stuff like that, and being live. And now we're doing pretty much this, brother. It's only pretty much because everybody's so too many restrictions, so we can't do what we normally do. But you know what, man? Well, the one thing that was good about this COVID stuff, the pandemic, was that everybody stood home and watched TV, and you know what they did? They would watch the first two seasons of Mayans M.C. So that was self-promotion right there. You get what I'm saying? So, hey, the show, I'm going to watch season 3, and people have been, so it worked out both ways,
Talking about having the opportunity to sit down and just do some streaming and some binging, how has the feedback been? Has the feedback changed from them, or has it just gotten a little bit more intense, if you will?
Well, no, I think because of that, people have been waiting now for new content, and and this whole time we pretty went back to filming like 6 months ago, so we also locked down for 6 months, and so we were all, man, we all just want to get back to work, and now that we're done with the work, now other people just want to get back and watch what's happening.
Now, Emilio, you talked about how things look a bit different, but having the opportunity to get back on set about 6 months ago, did it make it more challenging to stay in character, or did it maybe help you stay in character a little more because you were so involved with self, if you will?
Well, it was kind of tough because, every time they would say cut, you had to put the mask back up, bro. You dig what I'm saying? Now, I was going to use that as an excuse to say, I don't want to wear a mask, right? But I remember the first day I was, because I had to stay in character. I'm an actor, that kind of shit, But what it was is, the first day was a very heavy scene with Danny Pino, and he was going in, crying his ass off, coming out, masking up, going in there, crying his ass. I did it like 5 times. I said, well, there goes my excuse. I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so, it just made you stay focused longer, bro. It's just, and once in a while, once you took off your mask, it would mess with the makeup, or, as I wear a big old mustache in it, so they have to come and comb my mustache again and get it right again, So, but other than that, man, it was, we were all anxious to get, we were all anxious to see each other. We couldn't hug each other. We had to do elbow bumps, you know what I'm saying? But, Disney and FX kept us safe, man. And what, it was, after a while, like the first weekend, that was the new normal, man,
That's right. Now, for you, Emilio, tell our listeners what to expect from the upcoming episodes Tuesday nights on the FX.
Pain, heartache, a lot of tears. And you're gonna be like, what just happened? And then you're gonna be wanting to say why it happened. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna say, okay, got it. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna watch it again the following day on Hulu, brother. I'm telling you right now, it's rough, man, rough.
And for you, the feedback that you get from the fans, especially in the time that you had away, was that just a driving force to keep you motivated, keep you going through all of the downtime?
Yeah. What was good, man, is that we got the scripts early, like I think 3 months early. So we had, so normally we have a week to work on the script. We actually had 3 to 5 months to work on the script. So we were ready, man. So we just, when you're at home locked up, we just work out your, how you might think you want to do it. And then we go and do what we do, and then Elgin adjusts this a little bit. And that's why the show's so fire right now, brother,
What was the biggest thing that you really focused in on your craft as you had time to yourself?
We know what I did, man. I revisited season 1 and 2. And just see what I could do a little bit different, because I had the script, so I would look at that and come back to this, back and forth. So I was always working on, El Padrino, bro. I'm talking about how not to do something that's not repeat a performance. You dig what I'm saying? So when people say they don't watch themselves, well, if you don't watch yourself, you're not going to really learn more from yourself. You have to watch yourself, bro. Not to repeat a performance,
Now, do you find it easier to watch yourself now, or is it more painful now that you've spent more time in the business? That's painful now. You dig what I'm saying? Because I think I've pretty much been doing this for a long time, so I know what I can do. And in the beginning, the first 10 years, it's kind of like, oh shit, you're not sure what's going to come up, or what the editor kept, because there's some stuff you do, you say, hopefully they don't keep that, man, because what I don't like, they might love, you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird, That's right. Now, the new episodes on Mayans M.C. come up on Tuesday evenings on FX, Tuesdays 10 Eastern, 9 local time, and then the next day on FX on Hulu. Emilio, always want to make sure and let our listeners know where to keep up with everything you've got going social media-wise as well.
As far as on Instagram and Twitter, which is mainly where I'm at, is Emilio Rivera 48. Hit me up and I'll hit you right back, man. And thank you for following me. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, Emilio, it's always great to visit with you, my friend. Hope you have a great rest of your week and look forward to talking again real soon.
You take care. Good talking to you again, my brother. You take care. Talk to you soon, man.
Now, it's hard to say exactly when you become middle-aged, and maybe it's more of a feeling than a specific age. Well, a new survey found the average person doesn't believe they're middle-aged until they hit 47. But the survey also asked people to name the signs that they're becoming middle-aged, and those start happening a lot earlier than 47. Now, here are some of the most common answers. Feeling stiff, groaning when you bend down, picking comfort over style with your clothes, thinking police officers, teachers, and doctors look really young, hating loud bars, and needing an afternoon nap. Now, realizing you have some co-workers who don't know what a cassette tape is, knowing your limit when it comes to drinking, hoping you get asked for an ID, and giving people speeches on saving and investing. Apparently, we're all Team Legend this morning. We've got Pia Renee on the line with us this morning. And Pia, we had Gean on just a little bit ago. Good to visit with you this morning as well.
Hey.
Now, Pia, tell us a little bit how the battle rounds are unfolding on The Voice and what it's like for you after all the ups and downs that life has thrown your way to have this opportunity in this moment.
It is absolutely stunning to be here, to stand in front of John Legend and folks like Brandy and Kelly Clarkson, Nick Jonas, and Blake Shelton and Kelsey Ballerini. So it's been amazing. Like I'm very happy to be here. I would have preferred to be here at like 25, but it didn't work out like that.
And Pia, does all of the life happening make you even appreciate the moment even that much more?
Absolutely. All the life happening actually has been great preparation ground for this moment. So I wouldn't change any of it. I mean, there are times I wish things were different, but just from where I sit right now, I wouldn't change a moment of it.
Now, Pia, obviously, as you know, you're going for the voice tryout. I mean, how did you prepare yourself for the blind audition? And did that preparation, did it help out the night of?
Oh, man. So the night before the blinds, I could not sleep at all. Like I kept waking up in the middle of the night, and yeah, so I was just so much excitement. Everything was just so electric and so new. The best way to prepare is just to just go over that song millions and millions and millions of times without overtaxing your voice. And I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel like, okay, you got it, until literally I was standing in front of Carson Daly and right about to walk onto the stage. That's when I felt, okay, you'll be fine. But up until that moment, I did not feel okay, and it was nerve-wracking.
Now, how much different has this season gone as opposed to what you kind of envisioned coming in?
I really didn't have a reference point, so I didn't try. I intentionally tried to keep myself from forming expectations, because when something doesn't look or sound or feel like the image you created in your mind, it could kind of psych you out a little bit. So I didn't have a reference point, so I didn't really form one. So I was completely open to whatever would be presented to me.
Now, what has been the hardest part of being on The Voice this season? I mean, obviously, as having an established voice, is the feedback hard to take sometimes, or has it all been pretty easy for you to adjust to, if you will?
The feedback is not an issue at all. I mean, that's going to be what it's going to be. I feel like if your voice is well prepared and you prepare yourself well, and you are authentically who you are, the feedback is just going to be technical in nature, or in, okay, how you can open this song up and open your perspective and be better. I would say the hardest part for me this season was losing my mother in the midst of being in LA and preparing for battles. That has been the most difficult thing I've experienced in my life. So, and it's coming at the most weirdest time. Like, I've had to manage great joy and deep sorrow at the same time, and it's been mind-blowing.
Now, as the battle rounds continue, Pia, what was that experience like for you, preparing to go one-on-one, if you will?
The battles were, in and of itself, fine. I had a great partner, a great personality, who has a great personality and a great voice, and she's a phenomenal person on stage and off. So that part was easy, but again, just managing my personal experience and my personal life is the major challenge.
Now, with all of the COVID restrictions and everything in place, I mean, how much does that add an extra layer of challenge to each and every day?
really. Initially, it's kind of weird, but, you get used to it. So we have a lot of, we have time to prepare and time to rehearse. And after a while, you get used to all the plastic and the hand sanitizer and the masks and the 70,000 times of putting makeup back on. So you get used to it after a while. So it gets to the point where it's no longer off-putting.
And being from Chicago, I mean, how is the weather? Has the weather been a challenge, or has it been a blessing for you being out in L.A.?
Let me tell you something. When I was in L.A., I missed all the blizzards. So by the time I got home, all the snow was melting, and it was coming back to like springtime. So this has been a huge blessing because I missed all the sucky part of winter being in LA. So thank you, NBC The Voice, for that.
That's awesome. Now, Pia, if folks want to keep up with everything you've got going on social media wise, the music, website, all that, what's the best place to keep up?
So they could just find me across all platforms. My handle is I am Pia Renee, and that's IAMPIARENEE. And my website is just my first and my middle name. It's PiaRenee.com. And I'm there.
And that's right. Well, Pia, it has been great to visit with you this morning. Continued success this season, and hopefully we can catch up again real soon.
Yes, I'm excited. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for having me today.
Well, someone looked at the sauce or condiment that each state Googles more than other states. Now, the people behind this say that salsa would have made the cut, but they consider it a dip, not a sauce. But mustard got snubbed, and here's what they found. Number 1, ketchup. 24 states are obsessed, especially in the Midwest and Northeast. Number 2, barbecue sauce. 5 states. 4 of them border on each other: North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. The 5th is Delaware. Number 3, tomato or spaghetti sauce. 5 states: Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Oregon, and Washington. Number 4, 4 states are covering everything in gravy. Those include Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi, and, well, us here in Oklahoma. Number 5, 2 states are forcing me to pronounce Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get. Arkansas and Nevada. And tartar sauce got 2 states, Alaska and Montana. All right, guys, promised you some more special guests. Got a new podcast to be talking about. No kidding, me too. We've got Joey Pants Pantoliano with daughter Daniella. And first off, Joe and Danny, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show.
Thanks for having us. It's always a pleasure having a pair of pants on your show.
And in this last year, Joey, that's one of those things that's not a given, right?
That's the truth. I happy to say I got my second shot last week.
That's good. Now, Joey and Danny, how did the podcast first come about? Danny, was it something that you were kind of pushing Dad into a little bit?
Yeah, it was actually all my idea, as all the good ideas are. My dad did this award-winning documentary, No Kidding Me Too, that's helped a lot of people. And, I figured, let's continue that work in a way that's super accessible, podcasting. Let's, talk to your friends who happen to be celebrities, and have people listen, and they can listen and laugh and hear really cool stories about each other's careers, but also hear about their emotional diseasenesses and say, hey, Bonnie Hunt felt that way. I love Bonnie Hunt. I'm so happy she feels that way because I feel that way too. It makes me feel so much less alone, and like I can tell my friends about this. Especially with the last year we had, I just want people to talk, and I just needed people to talk too, because I have my emotions, and I need other people to talk to me about theirs so I feel less alone. So that's how it all started.
And Joe, for you, was it? How hard was it to first come out and work on the documentary and make yourself vulnerable at first, if you will?
Well, it wasn't hard for me at all, because I was so curious at the time, and I met people along this journey, because I produced and acted in a movie Joe Greco wrote called Canvas, about his life growing up with a mother with schizophrenia, And I did that movie with Marcia Gay Harden, and it was embraced by the mental health community. And it was award-winning, and we were going all over the country showing the movie and then talking afterward. And in talking to people, I came to meet individuals that were so touched by the film, they became very vulnerable with me to tell me their story. One was a young man, Jordan, who literally threw himself out of his 9th floor bedroom window because he didn't want to live anymore, and survived that. And so I just put together a film crew, and we started interviewing all of these people, going, all over the country, finding them where they lived, and then interviewing them, and we started making this film. And so I then saw the need to really come clean and expose myself. It wouldn't be fair otherwise, right? And the more I did that, the more following we received. People were saying, "Hey, no kidding, me too. I got a brother like that. I got a mother like that. I got a sister like that. I'm like that." And I realized that mental disease wasn't like a minority player. That 1 in 4 people will be affected by it, and 4 in 5 Americans are affected by it because their loved one is going through it. So we're all going to go through it, and it's about getting through it. Being able to find ways to treat it in a positive, healthy way to get through the rough patches.
Danny, for you, the podcast, how much tech expertise do you have to try to glean over to your dad as you guys move forward?
We are figuring out all that stuff, the tech stuff. We still have our issues, but we have a great producer who's super helpful. And it's been really interesting not being in the same place, because usually if I'm in the same place, it's easier to help my dad with all that stuff. But it's always fun. I love seeing him as just like a little old man who doesn't know how to work something. He's such a big figure in my life that when he doesn't know how to send a file, it's just very, sweet.
That is your inspiration for the day, right?
Yeah, working with my dad, that's my inspiration for sure.
There you go. Now, Joe, you talked about going out and sharing the documentary, but after the last year, I mean, what is it like to get feedback from folks, knowing that the lessons and the words that you're sharing are touching their lives and making a difference in them as well?
It's fascinating to find out about friends of mine that we've been talking to on the podcast. And what they've gone through, that some of these friends I've known for 30 years and didn't know that about them. So it's really fun. They're funny. And also it's highly entertaining and with a real strong vein of empathy for one another.
And how much do you think it takes a little pressure off whenever you can kind of laugh about what we all go through on an individual basis as we continue on as well?
Well, that's the only thing that kept me going. Even in my darkest times, the idea of finding a punchline in it. You look, the greatest comedians and scholars and politicians have all gone through. Churchill to Lincoln. Lincoln suffered incredible depression, and I didn't know that. They don't teach you that in school. They don't teach us anything until we break. We're designed. Wait till they break, and then we'll throw some pills at them.
Unfortunately, too true. That is for sure. Now, Joe and Daniella, the podcast, no kidding, me too. Daniella, I will ask you. I'm not going to put Joe on the line for this one. Where's the best place, Daniella, to find more info about the podcast?
Just wherever you listen to podcasts. We have it on Apple, Spotify. You can go on our Instagram, No Kidding Me Too podcast. Our website's coming up soon. And then you can also, we really encourage people to email us and tell us their stories and if they're willing to have us read them, we want to start doing, little mini-sodes where we read our listeners' stories to keep everyone anonymous. But so they can reach me personally at Daniella at nkm2.com.
No kidding, me too. How about that?
Yep.
That's good. Well, Joe and Daniella, it has been great to visit with you guys this morning. Looking forward to checking out the podcast myself, and hopefully we can catch up again real soon.
Thanks for having us.
The U.S. box office might be making a comeback. Godzilla vs. Kong crushed expectations, earning $48.5 million since its opened on Wednesday, including $32.2 million over the 3-day Easter weekend. Now that's easily the biggest opening since the pandemic shut everything down. Worldwide, the movie has earned $285.4 million. It opened in several foreign markets last weekend, and the previous opening weekend record during the pandemic was Wonder Woman 1984, which made $16.7 million over Christmas last year. Both Wonder Woman and Godzilla vs. Kong were released on HBO Max the same day they hit theaters. HBO Max didn't release streaming numbers for Godzilla vs. Kong, but they say it had a larger audience in its first 4 days than any other film or show so far. Another season of The Voice continues on NBC's Mondays and Tuesday nights. And from Houston, Texas, and Team Nick, we've got Dana Monique on the line. And first off, Dana, appreciate you taking some time to be on the show this morning.
Oh, yeah, I'm honored. It's my pleasure. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Now, Dana, what has this season been like, getting onto The Voice, going through the blind auditions, now through the battle rounds for yourself at least, and how has the ride been thus far?
It's been absolutely amazing. I couldn't be more excited and more just ready and eager just to continue this thing.
Now, for you being on Team Nick and having him come in with maybe a new set of eyes and a new vision, what has been the biggest, the eye-opening experience for you personally?
Oh, wow. Just being on this platform, just knowing that I can do it, just being, present in these moments and just continuing to learn. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just beautiful.
So far this season, what was the blind audition like for you? I mean, obviously you have in your mind and in your heart kind of what it's going to be like, but how close to that was it on the actual night?
Man, it was a lot of praying. It was a lot of praying. I was trying to I have this thing to where I'm a little nervous before, right? But when I get on that stage and hear that music, it just goes away. And then I'm even more nervous after. I don't know why, but I am. It's the strangest thing.
Now, what's it like? Obviously, this season, everything is so much different with the COVID, the pandemic, and all of the guidelines going along with that. How much has that changed the audience or lack thereof reaction for you? How has that affected you personally?
Hasn't affected me. It is a little strange. You don't really have anybody in the room when you're singing. It's like you got to create this whole party in your head. You be like, girl. And so I'm there. I'm just on the stage. I got to create this whole party in my head. And then you kind of, after the fact, once people have seen things, then you start getting reactions. You're like, oh, okay, so this is what y'all thought. Okay, this is pretty cool. Instead of people being in the room actually screaming for you, you're like, nah, that doesn't happen. But yeah, it's a little different.
Now, how did you feel when you saw the chairs turning? I mean, did that make it hard to continue singing?
You know what? At first, it was like I almost missed it, right? Because, my mom used to tell me when I was younger, so like when I sung my first solo, she was like, listen, this you got to do. Even you look that way, but you look over their heads and, just kind of imagine everybody in their underpants, So I almost, kind of missed it. And I saw it, and then I saw John turn around. And it's like, that's what gives you that adrenaline, like, yes, they love it. Let's bring it, boo.
What have you maybe learned the most coming in this season? I mean, we've all been through so much in this last year, and obviously you have in your mind kind of where you want to go, but what has maybe been the biggest eye-opener for you personally?
Man, that you're not the only one that has gone through what you've gone through. Like, sometimes you feel like, when you're going through something or stuff don't feel good, you feel like you're the only one, But this just, even just from the moments that I've had with the show, I've received so many messages of other mothers or just single parents alone that said, I feel you. And when you know that you're not by yourself and that what you're doing is making a difference in someone, man, it's a beautiful feeling. It lets you know, like, girl, you helping somebody.
Now, for you being raised in the church and in the ministry as well, I mean, how much does it mean for you to be able to impact and be a light to others, even in the midst of all we're going through anyway?
Because, that's just the purpose. You want to be able to touch somebody, minister to somebody and let them know, like, you here, you've been there, but my brother, you could do it. But my sister, you could do it. You can make it. It's just like, you always want to be a beam of light. And I always say, I make the statement all the time, it ain't how many people know you, it's what they got to say about you. What remnants are you leaving in the room? What are you giving to people? And I'm always huge on that. Like I did the people, other contestants on the show, they become like family now. And they literally, either somebody calls me every day or every other day.
That's good stuff. Now, for you, what advice would you give to the other contestants as they get ready for their turn in the battle round?
Hey, man, do your thing, okay? And do it well, all right? And can't nobody outdo you doing you. You do that and do it well. And make me proud.
And how much pride do you take in the other artists' accomplishments throughout the season as well?
Listen, I'm clapping for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody. I'm loud and country. I'm that mama that's at your game. That's my baby. I'm loud and they know it. You can ask them. I'm loud for everybody.
That's awesome.
I'm proud of all of them.
That's awesome. Again, Team Nick, Dana, Monique. Dana, I always want to make sure and let our listeners know where they can keep up with everything you've got going social media-wise and how they can keep up with everything as you continue on the season.
Oh, yeah, everything is The Dana Monique. The Dana Monique on Twitter, the Dana Monique on Instagram, Dana Monique on Facebook, or like my daddy said, you can Google me. Your girl got a name out here now. They say you can Google me. But, yeah, that's how you can find me.
That's awesome. Well, Dana, it has been a true privilege to have the chance to spend some time with you this morning. I wish you nothing but the best, continued success, and hopefully we can catch up as the season continues.
Oh, man, I'd love to do that. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, the Friends special we've been waiting this whole pandemic for is finally shooting this week. At least that's what sources are telling The Hollywood Reporter. HBO Max hasn't confirmed it yet. Now, the show was originally supposed to debut on May 27th of 2020, but it kept being pushed back due to COVID-19. There's still no word on a new premiere date. Our last guest today and returning guest and friend of the show, Cooper Allen. And first off, Cooper, good to visit with you, my friend.
Great to see you, man. Appreciate you having me back on.
And what was your initial response whenever you connected on Zoom and you heard yourself singing back at yourself?
Sometimes I think I hear voices, and sometimes I think it's my own, and that scared me for a second. But
now it's been a minute.
And I heard your beautiful voice, and it all got better. So.
There you go. And I think we got video taken care of for the minute. But how have things been going in the interim since we visited last? I know the new normal was kind of kicking out there, and I know this song. I believe you wrote it a couple of weeks after we last visited.
Yeah, so are you talking Tough Ones or the one I just put out a couple days ago?
Yeah, Tough Ones.
Okay, yeah, so Tough Ones, it's been a pretty special song, pretty cool song. I wrote it in think it was February or like late January, kind of when I got back from Christmas break and all that stuff, and wrote it with two of my favorite writers in town, Matt Nolan, Skip Black. And I kind of came in with this idea. It was the Army football coach. He used to tell his team, let's show them why we're the last of the hard ones. And, I thought Last of the Hard Ones is kind of that's a cool title. And you initially think it's kind of like an Eric Church, like, let's show them why we're the last of the hard country boys. And, that's awesome, but that's not really me. So I was like, maybe we could spin this as a love song. So we started talking about it, and eventually landed on, Tough Ones as the title, because Last of the Hard Ones as a love song would be a little bit weird. And it took me about 20 minutes to realize that when I got in the room. And this is the first time I'd ever met these guys. So I'm like, they probably think I am a weird dude. But yeah, it was just a special song, a special melody, and really just, it's a shout out to tough people and strong love. And even, stuff that goes beyond relationships, just all the strength that I think the world has seen over the past year, whether it's first responders, frontline workers, medical workers, all those people that have had to go through so much this past year and show so much strength and come out better on the other side. I don't know. It's just kind of a testament to those people. So we teased it on TikTok and people loved it, and built it up a little bit, then put it out. It did the whole #1 all genre thing on iTunes, which was sweet. And we hit over a couple million streams on it in about a month, which was cool. And it's just fun seeing people connect to the song and kind of take it off the way they want to take it off. So.
And how crazy is it to see how things have gone musically for you this last year, how social media has played such an impact on your career and how things are moving forward?
Yeah. So I just sat back and thought about it the other day. Maybe it was the Easter sermon or something that just got me a little bit of perspective. And, a year ago, or a little over a year ago, I had 3,000 followers on Instagram, and I'd had a song that had done well on some playlists and stuff, but outside of that, nobody really cared about my music, which is the struggle of a up and coming independent artist. And it's been crazy this past year, just to see these numbers go up and to see people that care about the art that I'm making, and these songs mean something to them, and they want to share it. They want to purchase the music, stream it. And, that's why I got into this business in the first place was, I want to somehow make people's lives better, as so many musicians have made my life better, whether it's through a live show or whether it's through a song or whatever. And just getting the opportunity to do that in a small way over the past year has just been awesome and humbling. And, it takes stepping back. You get it. We're in the grind every day, and it's tough to get that perspective. But once you step back, it's like, man, I'm a really, really fortunate, lucky guy. And, I work very hard, but a lot of people work hard. So there's definitely some good fortune involved. And, just gotta thank the man upstairs every day, because he's been good to me, man.
That's right. And what has been the biggest misuse of one of your songs on TikTok? What was there a video that you saw connected to your music that you're like, really?
That's a funny question. I will not get into politics because I don't sway super hard either way. But there have been some political posts using that Tough One song on both sides that I'm just like, dude, not this. No. Like, do that with other things, not this song. That's not the purpose here. So yeah, it's funny to look at those and you're like, uh-oh. Here we go. And luckily, those have not blown up or anything. So not a ton of people have seen them. But for the most part, man, it's just been freaking inspiring stories and, stuff that, I put together a little fan-made music video, and I was sitting there, not a lot makes me cry, but I was sitting there, sobbing, crying up in my room, making this music video from these videos because people are really cool.
And to be able to touch people, especially in this last year, going forward, that's just got to be that much bigger of a boost for you as well, especially in the hard times.
Absolutely. And, we've managed to be able to build this following and make some, things that move people in certain ways. And we haven't even gotten to do live shows yet. So it's kind of exciting because, I feel like people are itching to see these new artists that they've started following in the past year on social media and stuff out on the road. And I'm so eager to meet the people that have changed my life in the past year. So that's definitely been like the biggest thing over the past couple months. It's like, all right, well, let's get going because I started getting into music from performing. It wasn't necessarily from writing at first. So I'm just excited to hopefully expand on it even more and get it going in a bigger and better way out on the road.
Now, have you had a chance to play anywhere, any live shows yet?
Some in Nashville. The bars here have been very safe and they're smart about getting people sitting down and, making sure you're wearing masks and all that stuff. So it's a safe environment for everybody. And the bars have been back opened up for a couple months now. And I'll get to do that a couple times a month, which is a lot of fun and getting to meet people that way here in town. I'm certainly excited to get out on the road and, kind of hit different spots around the country and stuff. But I've started to get my little fix of it back here in Nashville, which has been much needed.
How much did you geek out the first time?
It felt weird. It was like, what's going on? And I definitely forgot some words to songs and was sweating more and this feels really weird. Then you get back into it and it's, awesome. And you remember, why you got started playing music in the first place.
Now, the new single, Cooper, tell our listeners just a little bit about the new single, the inspiration behind it and all that as well.
Totally. So it's another love song. I got a thing for love songs, I guess. I wrote it with the same guys I wrote Tough Ones with, Matt and Skip. And it's like a falling in love song. And, me personally, I was kind of the guy that, you didn't want to jump into a relationship too fast or, everybody says that. Let's just take it slow or whatever. And that was true until I met the awesome girl I'm dating now and have been dating for the past couple of years and, or not met. We had known each other for a long time, but the first time we actually told each other we liked each other a little more than friends. And then once that happens and you find that right person that makes you feel that way, you just switch flips and you go from let's not jump into it too fast to let's go fast. What are we doing next? Well, should we start looking at houses together or something? And the premise of the song is, pretty soon going to be 2 toothbrushes by the sink, 2 coffee cups waking up every morning. What you think? And it's just kind of a fun, loving thing about falling in love. For you, how much are you looking forward to the 2 toothbrushes next to each other? Well, so she lives in Nashville. She's lived here for about 2.5 years. I lived here for about 3 years, and she lives right across the street from me. So we're about as close as you can get. We're moving in together in June, but I currently have 2 toothbrushes by my sink, and it's pretty cool. I'm looking at it right now. I'm living it. Now tell it. Do you want to play the new single for us today? Absolutely, man. I can play that or Tough Ones, whatever you want, man. You tell me. It's up to you, brother. You're the guest here. Okay. Well, I got all the power, man. I'll play the new one. Since it's fresh. Let me make sure my guitar is tuned here. And I got a question for you. Did Lon Kruger retire? Yes, he did. Okay. Yeah, he did. How are we feeling about that? I'm sad. I hated whenever he was at Kansas State. As an OU Sooner fan, I hated whenever we played any team that was coached by Lon Kruger. When we got Lon Kruger, I was so proud. Now the last I heard is that they have hired the coach from Chicago. Loyola of Chicago is going to be the new head coach. So that's a good hire right there. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad hire at all. Yeah, Kruger was great, and I'm a UNC guy, so Roy retired on Thursday, and we all wished it was an April Fool's joke, but it wasn't. And so here we are going through the same thing. So it's going to be interesting. It's exciting and sad and all that stuff all wrapped into one. That's right. All right, I'll play 2 soon. Never been in no hurry, like to take things slow. Wasn't looking for forever, just going with the flow. But one drink led to what's your name? To can't get the thought of you out of my brain. To maybe finding that one thing changes everything. 'Cause pretty soon gonna be 2 toothbrushes by the sink, 2 coffee cups, waking up every morning. What you think? Are we moving too fast? Fine with me if we do. 'Cause when it comes to you, it can't come too soon. When it comes to you, it can't come too soon. Yeah. Every time you kiss me, less I give a damn about what I thought I wanted. Got me changing my plans. If it keeps on going like it's going, girl, then I'm going, gone. I got a feeling the way you got me feeling, it won't be too long. 'Cause pretty soon gonna be 2 toothbrushes by the sink, 2 coffee cups, waking up every morning. What you think? Are we moving too fast? Fine with me if we do. 'Cause when it comes to you, it can't come too soon. When it comes to you, it can't come too soon. Yeah. Might lead to 2 rings, 2 acres, 2 babies running around. Got my head up in the clouds, ain't coming down, and I like the sound. 2 toothbrushes by the sink, 2 coffee cups, waking up every morning. What you think? Are we moving too fast? Fine with me if we do. When it comes to you, it can't come too soon. When it comes to you, it can't come too soon.
That's good stuff right there, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Now, when was that one written? Was that written at the same time as the other?
That was written probably like a month ago, maybe month and a half ago. Yeah, and then TikTok blew it up again, so we recorded it and put it out on Thursday last week.
Isn't that funny how social media has dictated the quick return on the recording, production, and release? I mean, how crazy is that?
Oh, it's crazy. It's awesome for me because I love moving so fast, and the music industry does not. So it's almost like, well, we got to do it. And I'm sitting there like, oh, sorry, it's out of my hands. And they're like, damn it, man. We got to do this in such a hurry. And I mean, recording music does actually, take a long time. There's a reason it takes a while. So I've definitely given some people some headaches, but it works. Those are the times we're in right now.
Now you've gotten comfortable with the reverse look at a camera. I mean, the video, how long did it take for you to get comfortable in front of that camera looking back at you?
Yeah, it's a really long time. I used to hate social media and all that stuff. It just wasn't my personality or anything. I hated looking at myself. I hated hearing myself talk, hated hearing myself sing and all that stuff. And, finally I just sucked it up and was like, you're going to have to do this or you're never, ever going to have a chance at doing this career. And that's really what my publisher, she said it in a little bit of a nicer way, but that was, she gave me a little pep talk and my girlfriend gave me a little pep talk. And I was like, okay, you know what? Just suck it up, man. And maybe it took a few Jack Daniels shots at first to really be used to the camera screen. But, now here we are. And I spend most of my day looking at myself and, feel like a real diva because of it.
There you go. Now, what's the most diva thing that the most diva purchase that you've made? Have you gone for the petties, any of that kind of stuff? How do you pamper yourself?
The most diva purchase, it wasn't a purchase, but it was, I pretty much said, please give me this. And this has nothing to do with music, was a butt pad for my car. When I'm driving, I would start to get a little bit of back pain and, butt pain. And so the 70-year-old soul inside of me, I asked somebody to give me a Christmas present of a Bed Bath & Beyond butt pad. So now I have nice cushion when I drive.
Was it the gel? Is it the gel?
It's something magical in there, man. I don't know. Maybe it's shooting something up there. It's great.
Now, Cooper, obviously with the quick release of the music and the turnaround on that, has that changed maybe your goals for 2021 since we last changed?
And I forget what we talked about last time as my goals. But it's really just get more music out there, keep building up a following, keep reaching as many people as I possibly can. And, still being independent right now, I'm in a spot where I have the flexibility to really just kind of do whatever I want. And so, I'll keep putting music out to my fans, and if they like it, I'll put it out and they'll hopefully listen to it. And then I'll do it again and again and again. And that's kind of, I don't know, that's where I see the rest of this year going, mixed in with some touring. So writing like crazy and recording like crazy and teasing a bunch of stuff out there. And it's fun, man. It never stops, but it's a super fun cycle.
Now, do you think that this last year has changed the game for independent artists like yourself?
100%. In a way that has never, ever happened before. You have the ability through all this social media stuff to reach mass audiences with, little to no promotional budget or, big time marketing dollars. Do you still need record labels at some point in your career? Absolutely. You need to be, especially in country, you need to be on radio. Right. You need the big tours. You need all that stuff. But in terms of gaining that initial traction and kind of getting the machine going a little bit, it's never been a better time for independent artists. And it's awesome. And you used to not even really be able to grow on social media before right. TikTok. Instagram and Facebook, you had to pay to do ads and all that stuff. And now you just throw stuff up and, any video you put up might go viral. And you can keep trying and doing it. And once something hits, then here we go. It's on. Let's build it up, baby. So
have you figured out what the formula is on the viral video, or is it still just a hit and miss? Throw it up there and see what hits.
Yeah, there really is no formula other than, you got to find a way to hook people in. Whether that's with the story behind the song or whether that's with, saying a brief thing about what the song is about or something. You just got to find a way to grab people's attention. And that's kind of the reality of the world right now is our attention spans are, about this big and there's so much good content being pushed out that you got to kind of go the extra mile as opposed to just sitting there playing your guitar and singing for a camera. And sometimes, even that works. If the song is good enough, right. You can just sing it to the camera and it'll pop off. So it's a mixture of trying everything, and it's fun because you just throw a bunch of crap against the wall and something hopefully sticks. Luckily for me, some stuff has stuck, and hopefully we'll keep sticking. But
so when are we going to change up the formula on the songwriting? Is it always going to be the love, the slow love song, or are we going to change it up for like a vengeful? Before I released the New Normal Tough Ones Too Soon, I was a lot better at writing breakup songs than love songs. That's just where my brain always went. I don't know why. I've, always been in pretty happy relationships, especially now. But, we've got some breakup songs in the ringer, some party songs, and, it might be time for just a little change up of the content. I still love songs more than anything, but you got to have your drinking songs and your breakup songs for the people that are going through it, That's right. Well, Cooper, if folks want to find more information about the new single Too Soon, about all of the other stuff, social media, all of that, where's the best place to keep up?
So you go Instagram, Cooper Allen Music, Allen spelled ALAN, TikTok, Cooper Allen, and then the number 1, Cooper Allen 1. Facebook, Cooper Allen, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. YouTube, you just look up my name, it comes up. But would love for people to stay in touch.
All right. Well, Cooper, always good to see you, my friend. I'm glad we were able to reconnect, and hopefully we'll catch up again real soon, brother.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate you having me back.
Well, thanks again for joining me for this 55th episode in Season 2 of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. If you ever have a comment, question, or anything else you'd like to know, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at GQ with Cam. If you'd like to help out in the funding for this podcast, click on over to the shop. We got anything from stickers to mugs to hoodies and more. That's all at gqwithcam.com/shop. If you have a special guest idea, email me, gqwithcam@gmail.com. Well, thanks again to Brandon Allen for coming up with our theme music. We're going to let him play us out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday.